Peace to the saints. We are here today with yet another discussion. This one was prompted by a video that I have on Instagram that shows a gentleman putting his hands on a female, and there was something about that in my commentary that made Kanan want to speak out. I will yield the floor for the gentleman to introduce himself, and then we'll engage the conversation.
Hey there, Kanan Jasper, Brooklyn, New York. Mental health advocate and participant, and owner of quite a few mental health facilities, some alternative schools, some group homes, really diving in along with my brother and my family to, uplift and give some opportunities to young, underprivileged people.
Okay, very good. And I think there's a couple important places that we probably have similarity, and we'll try to highlight those as much as possible. But I think, or not, I think I know for sure there are some fundamental differences, and not only in terms of background, but also in terms of philosophy and perspective. Number one, I would like to state that there are some individuals that I am certain are mentally broken. They cannot be healed. In the pseudoscience of psychology, it used to be a little bit more impressive, but in today's pseudoscience of psychology, they never heal or cure anyone. In some of the work that you do, very important work in many cases, especially if we're talking about group homes and dealing with the young people, especially those who are essentially orphans. Many of them are suffering immaturity. They just need to be raised and nourished. They need parents. And then we have other situations wherein, whether the person is a minor or an adult, they're mentally broken, they will never be healed, and they're essentially a burden to society and a danger to society. In the West, we've not been able to acknowledge that in recent history, and instead we just basically have the taxpayer dole out a lot of money, and it's an utter waste. It's a money pit. So I'd like to just have that out first. I'm going to give you a chance to respond to that, and then we'll carry on with a few more pieces to establish our perspectives, and then we'll have the discussion.
Sure. Well, you're right. Everyone cannot be healed. To be perfectly honest, I don't know a human being who's totally healed. I think that we all have some degree of flaw, and I think every day optimistically and ideally, you should be trying to do some corrective behavior. So, yeah, I do agree with you. Everyone is not going to be healed. And there's some fundamental things that go on and has gone on in this country that leave many people at a huge disadvantage. One of them being, fathers, like you said, fathers not being present. You need parents. And in order to control some of these young men and correct some of these young men and women, you need some both parents. You need a disciplinarian, an example, so I have to agree with you there. But I do agree that some are not that far off from being improved.
Fair enough. And also, I must point out that often I'll differ with most people on methodology. I observe that the times are desperate and the measures must be desperate.
Very
and
much
I am
so.
uncompromising because people in the past, men, have compromised too much. So we're at a point in which we cannot compromise. You mentioned fathers, and we certainly agree that the mother and the father of the child should be in the household and the father should be running the household. But I surmise we have a difference of opinion on how the patriarch operates and under whose law the house operates. I believe that that house operates under the man's law, not the law of the white man or the government. So there was one other foundational piece I wanted to establish, which is you're in an industry heavily subsidized by government and tax dollars. So
Very true.
in as much as you were like heavily, in as much as that's the case, there has to be a certain perspective. It has to shape, what you see, the kind of cases you see, the kind of people you deal with, what you can say, what your perspective is. And my experience is very far outside of that on purpose. The closest I've got to being where you are is my mother worked in group homes and ran them when I was a youngster. Work with people who are mentally unwell of various age and backgrounds, and I also was a public school teacher. But aside from that, I've been in private industry, and so I think we're kind of worlds apart there. But I do understand your world because I've worked in government. I yield the floor for any foundational pieces you want to give the audience.
Well, I don't think we're that far apart because you're right. With government agencies, a lot of times you got to follow government rules and you're shaped under that guideline and stuff. Fortunately enough, our business was founded by my youngest brother. He's a clinical psychologist, and fortunately enough, he did not come out owing any money to schools, any money to loans. And we started our businesses with our own money, so we did not accept any government money to start. Full-fledged, self-invested. So because of his credentials and him not being beholden to anyone, we were able to craft a lot of our curriculums our way with our philosophies. I mean, of course, you stay within some guidelines. You got to have some, but we are very non-traditional in our approach. So I think you may be surprised at how close we may be on certain things. Maybe not all, but probably are closer than you think.
Well, that's a beautiful thing. I hope that is indeed the case, because it's always better to have a teammate and a coalition as opposed to an enemy and a detractor. And so I appreciate you sharing that. One thing I want everyone to pay attention to every time I speak, I'm really speaking to a system of ideas. So we have to be systems thinkers and understand how things integrate, how this piece over here affects this piece down here, which is to say, how a patriarch or a man instills discipline and affects children, affects the woman in his life, affects his likelihood of incarceration. All of these things are integrated. And so I hope you all can track the logic that I'm using and understand that it's for the greater good and it is for the future of nation. So we are talking about nation. You guys might often be looking at an individual. I'm looking at a component, an atom of a larger organization or nation. So please do be mindful of that. I know for some folks, abstract thinking can be difficult. So work with me.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to show the screenshot of the image. We might end up messing around and playing it. I'm trying not to, but here we are right here. And you have a female, and I'm going to play just a little bit of this so that we just have some grounding.
Yeah.
I wish I could fast forward it. And I do know that there may be some context of this video, but for those who are watching, know that the reaction is based on the video. It's not based on the context, which is unknown and will be speculative. I know some of these internet nerds have nothing better to do but to find out everything that's going on. But the fact of the matter is I spoke on what is present in the video. So I'm going to go ahead and for you just a bit of it, and then we'll get to the discussion.
See how sick the world really is like. So bro took off on short.
Okay, so this guy's throwing haymakers at this young lady. And fortunately, this is a bit off screen, but in short, he throws haymakers at the young lady. Then, or actually the important thing to understand is before he starts throwing those haymakers, she set up a camera covertly, sits down with him. She's talking, he's talking. She says something, we can observe a reaction in him. Then he starts throwing haymakers. Then he gets up and walks out, presumably out of anger. She gets up, walks over, grabs the camera. Then it cuts to a clip of her, supposedly her father and her brother, beating up the young man who had previously been hauling off on her. Is that an accurate description of the video?
That's what I believe you described. It seems that way, very much so.
Oh, okay, very good.
She definitely, someone definitely set up that camera. I don't know if she did, but she likely did.
Yes. And the only reason I say that is because immediately after she finished getting hauled off on, she gets up, walks straight to the camera and picks it up. And also doesn't seem to be terribly bothered by what had happened. Seems like it was par for the course for this individual. Okay. So that's that. And then we'll see the comment that Mr. Jasper wrote, which reads, I don't know if you made any other comments, let me know, but the one that I observed reads, bruh, what are you talking about?
Right.
What does this have to do with him showing self-control?
Right.
Okay, and then...
No, I didn't. Yeah. I didn't
okay, great. So, all right, fantastic. So I'll yield the floor to you to clarify that statement and then dive in.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we don't know what happened previous, right? But what I do know is that, yeah, the camera was propped up. What I responded to more importantly is a comment you made. You said, you described the setting and then, or what you thought was the setting. And then you said she wanted that whipping. That's what you said. And I'm like, and then that may not necessarily, first of all, I don't think that's just the wanted that whipping. I think we're being extremely presumptuous. You're saying, oh, she was trying to provoke him.
I don't want to stop you. I just want to clarify. So as you are going, we have full understanding of what you're saying. So I want you to continue. If you don't mind, I just want to inquire about a couple of things that you said.
Sure.
Because we're going to deal with a lot of new ideas. So one, you said that sister. What do you mean by that?
Just a woman. Just a woman. Anytime I see a woman, I don't know her background or whatever. I'm like, that's just. I don't think that's sister asked for that beating. Like
that. If she was white, would you say that sister?
Yeah, I would. I would say that sister.
Right. I mean, okay, so you just mean a female.
Yeah, I just mean a female.
And then you stated that you don't think she wanted that whooping.
Yeah, I don't think, because a lot of things can happen in fight and combat. I'm a combat specialist. I'm a hand-to-hand combat specialist and otherwise. I know what it can lead to. So I don't think a human being would just ask for that type of situation. If I had to look into it a little bit more and then seeing that her father and brother responded, she may have just needed some evidence to show people what she was talking about, because a lot of women sometimes did not believe, or they be afraid for a long time and say, listen, I'm telling people, but I don't know where to go with this. Like, I've seen it on both sides,
Fair enough. And that is quintessentially my challenge, is that all of those things and the thinking behind those actions is wrong. Number one, if a guy is beating you, whoever you may be a male, you may be a female, the smartest thing to do is extract yourself from that situation and relationship. Mm-hmm. The most evil thing you could do is try to recreate the bad situation for whatever purpose. For the purpose of documenting, for the purpose of proving it to other people. A functional, mentally healthy, productive person would have never been in the situation. But someone who would be trying to be a functional, mentally healthy, happy person would immediately extract themselves from that position and that situation. You wouldn't try to recreate a bad situation. So that's number one. That's problematic. She put herself in that situation and she said something to him that was inflammatory. Only common sense could dictate that. You can observe from the beginning of the video, they're fine. She starts babbling. He reacts out of anger, which would indicate that she said something to inflame him. Now, here's the thing. Am I saying that he reacted appropriately? No, sir. Am I saying that that was the way that I would react, or I would recommend anyone react, or that I condone it? No, sir. Am I 100% certain that she said something on purpose to inflame him? I'm 100% certain she did that. She did it on purpose. She did it to bring that specific reaction out of him. She is 50% of the problem there. Now, when he reacted that way.
I can't say that. Remember, we speak atomically. I'm an engineer by education. So when you said you want to start here and then things start, different, going into different angles, I can very follow that. She cannot take 50% of that.
Should she take
because
100%? Is that what
we don't know. We don't know what she said. Secondly, that does not have anything to do with his reaction. He has to
you
control.
said what she said had nothing to do
Has
with
nothing
his
because
reaction.
she spoke. She didn't hit him. She didn't hit him. Right. So
that doesn't make sense. That's like, for
it makes
example,
a lot of sense
no,
because
it doesn't make sense because you're suggesting that words can never justify physical reaction.
I never said that.
Frankly, that's ludicrous.
I never said that. What I said is that he still has an obligation to control himself. You just said earlier in the conversation, you said you have man law.
That's right.
Man. So that means you have an obligation to conduct yourself in a certain way, because guess what? You wouldn't survive very long in the terrain doing that, because I know if I said something to that guy, I know he wouldn't do that to me.
No, you don't. He might have scraped you up exactly the same way.
No,
I've been around
have.
young boys his age. He'd have probably scrapped you up probably sooner than he'd have scrapped her up.
My brother.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Let me tell you something.
I lived in Philly. I lived in Baltimore. Them young boys give 0 F's about you, old head. They see that gray hair. They just think you easy work.
Very true. And they could be very, very much mistaken. Like a lot of people.
Yeah, they might be mistaken, but they ain't going to hesitate on you.
Yeah, but guess what? That girl got up and walked away. I guarantee.
Right.
Right. That mean he's not that effective.
No, I don't think he was trying to take her out. If he wanted to take her out, he could have took her out. But here's the question:
he delivered a lot, and nothing happened. We're
coming from two different pieces.
I want to correct you on something. That for me, if he let off on me, that same guy, it'll be dearly beloved. You understand? Because I already know he don't have what it takes to deal with somebody like me. And that
the discussion is not can he put you down, but going back to the core of the discussion, when I say I'm talking about ideas within a system, it seems as though you're trying to relate to that, but you don't know the system of ideas I'm referring to.
No, you said he likely would have scraped me up, and I said that wouldn't have happened.
Oh, absolutely. I truly believe he would have.
He would have scraped me?
As soon as he had that situation, like whenever you would have inflamed him, he would have behaved in the exact same way, except he would have went harder because you're a bigger threat. I think you're suggesting that he would not have fired on you. He would have fired on you.
No, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have, because again,
have you been around young black men today? You think that they're scared of you?
I have 2 sons, but I'm very familiar in all circumstances. So I've been in challenged environments all the time. Like you say, you're in Philly. I'm from Brooklyn. I've been in Philly. I got homies in every inner city on the underworld.
That's why I'm perplexed. Like you think, listen, I've been a teacher in Baltimore, Maryland. The kids will fight me.
Baltimore too. Yeah,
the kids will fight me. I got all the love for them. I've been with them 365 damn near and do programs on the weekends. And the kids will fight me
before I get there. Much of it you can stop before it gets there.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about
is resolve conflict.
Yes, but the point is we're putting you as a man in the position of that female who said something intentionally to inflame him. And my point is that whether it's you, his own father, someone he respects, with low impulse control and him being the kind of young man I surmise he is, it doesn't matter if it was a woman, a man, a small person, a big person, a senior citizen, he's going to tee off because that's the kind of character he is.
Understood. And that's understood, right? But you saying she wanted that. And you saying, you said it was wrong for her father to give him that act right. And it's not wrong. Her father should.
We can address that piece, but can we stay on the first piece first? We're going to get to that piece, but let's stay on the first piece because I sadly find that a lot of folks are liberal. This is a liberal perspective you're giving. It's a chiefly white perspective, and black folks, especially in ghettos, we grow up with something a little more close to the law of the jungle, Hammurabi's code, and the idea is, if you open your mouth, you might convince someone else to shut it for you. And there's no doubt that she was trying to do this because we can tell by his direct reaction to what she said. And number 2, she set up a camera in advance and it was a phone. So a phone can only
Right.
record so long. So she
Right.
planned to say something to draw out this reaction. So the fact that you're pretending as though she did not orchestrate this situation, this only removes responsibility from her. And this is a classic thing that we observe across all of the racial demographics, primarily among males who are weak, is that you sympathize overly with the female due to a subconscious drive to have to be nice to procreate with the female. And so what's happening is you're misstating, whether due to subconscious or conscious drivers, the reason that she did that. She did want to be whooped. And also, if you actually did grow up in a ghetto, and I don't know if you did or didn't, if you ever observe a woman who's a blade runner or a street stroller, and she works as a woman of the night, you know, many of them end up having to get a pee whooping, and they want that because they're so dysfunctional that that is a component of how they understand affection. Because they were raised by an unruly, aggressive single mother who only gave them attention when they were awake. You made me leave my job to come down to this school. Why? And that's when the girl gets her attention. Some of them
Brother Marquett,
desire and drive the whoopings.
Hold on.
They drive it.
I'm going to venture to say that you've never been a streetwalker. I know that.
No, I've never been a streetwalker. That's
so
correct.
you cannot presume how they feel. All right, that's number one. Number two.
Can you tell me if I've been around them? Can you tell me?
No, I can't
Can
tell
you tell
you
me
if you've
what
been
my
around.
family comes from?
I can't tell you any of that. That's
Okay,
why I
right.
won't be presumptuous.
That's why I'm speaking from my experience.
What I'm saying is, but we're not talking about singular. We're talking about systems. Isn't that what you said?
That's correct. But right now we're talking about the individual female and why she decided to behave this way. And I gave you an example to highlight this mentality.
Let me give you another example. Let me give you another example.
Of how you know she didn't want the whooping?
No, because if somebody, I'm saying, listen, whether she wanted it or not, we don't know. I was talking about the fact that
you said she didn't want the whooping.
I said
you said she didn't want it.
I don't believe it. I don't believe that she wanted it. But my comment was based on you saying that. I don't think.
Well, what was she turning the video on to capture?
Maybe she was getting her behind whipped numerous times. Maybe she needed somebody to believe her, and maybe she needed that.
So what was she trying to capture on the video?
Huh?
What was she trying to capture on the video?
Maybe his activity, his behavior, just in case, precautionary.
Which behavior?
Huh?
Which behavior was she trying to capture?
Some sort of reaction. Maybe he's abusive.
What kind of reaction?
Clearly he's abusive. Huh?
What kind of reaction?
Something with aggression. Something with aggression.
Like him beating her, for example, right?
Maybe.
Come on, you got to be more. You got to be more straightforward than that. What do you mean? Maybe?
I'm very straight. That's why I'm asking you a question. I'm trying to walk down the line and say, "Whoa, we can't say something like that woman wanted that beating." And if you
what I'm using is the evidence. I'm using the evidence of people don't record themselves covertly on a cellular phone camera unless they're trying to bust someone in the act of something. So what I'm saying is that it's very clear what she busted him in the act of.
Because you do something.
What are you proposing that she was trying to bust him in the act of?
Well, you do wrong things under the cover of night where people don't see it. Now she was probably exposing it. Like, look,
what is it? What is it?
His behavior, his dangerous behavior.
What is the behavior?
That he's abusive in some
physically
capacity.
Abusive, right? Physically abusive, correct?
Or mentally. Well, I don't know where her. I don't know. You could be correct in that, but I don't think that a woman just saying, "Yeah, I want to be whooped." Because if she wanted to be whooped, why go call her father and her brother?
Because she is a demon who creates greater drama, and this goes back from before biblical times
So then
to
you
today.
said it's not right. You said it's not right for him to catch what he caught. Is he not a demon?
That's correct. So. He is a demon. They're both demons. Exactly. They're both demons.
Then it's right to get that work. In a formula of mathematics, two negatives can make a positive.
No.
Negative times a negative makes a positive.
Because it had nothing to do with the father and the brother, because it was a recurring situation within the frame of their relationship.
You have children?
Within the frame. I don't discuss family in public.
Okay. So I do. I have children and I got nieces. I don't
You
have
can
any
ask me the
daughters.
question.
I got
You can
nieces.
ask me your question hypothetically.
Okay,
I guess you're going to do the most
hypothetically,
basic thing, which is what women say.
hypothetically,
They say, if you had a
no.
daughter, how would you feel if this happened to your daughter? Is that
Listen.
your question?
If you had a daughter and you saw that,
Yes.
what
Correct.
are you doing? What are you doing? I'm just
Are
going
you
to
going
ask
to allow
you.
me to answer the question?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, and I also want, I'll take it one step further as well,
Mm-hmm.
to say if my daughter came back and she said someone RAPED'd her at a party, I'll give you that one too.
Right,
Because
right,
this is
right.
predictable questioning from liberal white women. So the first thing, if I observe that from my daughter, my first question would be, why did you set up a video camera? That'd be my first question. Why did you set up this video camera? Did you know that this was going to happen? And if she told the truth, she'd say, yeah, I did know this was going to happen. Then I would say, well, why would you set yourself up to have this experience?
Mm-hmm.
That's mentally ill. I haven't raised you like that. You're never to see this guy again. And if you do see him again, you're out of my house. Full stop. You're out of my house because you're my responsibility. If you ever see him again, you're out of my house and you can go be under his household. Full stop.
Okay.
So would I go do something to this young man? Absolutely not.
Well, okay,
Because
that's
it doesn't make any sense, because I raised up my daughter to make good decisions and, most importantly, to bring every boy to me for me to make the call. So if she didn't bring him to me for me to make the call, she made her own decision. And she
hypothetically.
didn't follow instructions.
Hold
so
on,
she's going to
hypothetically.
head to destruction. That's correct.
Hypothetically.
So
having
to answer-
having children, hold on, let me interrupt and I'll let you get back to it. So having children, one, sometimes they don't always follow instruction. Number two, everything is not a hypothetical situation. I said, if you saw that video, then you would be asking. So that man exhibited irrational behavior, because to me,
it could
there
have
was
been
nothing.
perfectly rational.
Nah, it's to me right there. There's nothing.
Are you saying there's no reason to
justifiable.
bust a woman in her mouth? Are you saying there's
There's-
never a reason to bust her in her
I'm
mouth?
saying there's a reason to hit anybody. There's a reason to hit anybody. If you
said there
attacking my
is.
mom, yes, there's a reason to hit anybody. If you attacking my mom or somebody defenseless, whatever, I don't care who you are. I understand that. But what I am saying is this. That man clearly acted irrational because he was not in danger.
Is it irrational?
Yes, it's irrational. That was
no,
irrational.
he might have his own rationale. See, you just because you don't agree with it doesn't mean it's not rational.
Fine. To me, it's irrational. And for me, irrational can be met with irrational. The balance to oppression is revolution. They're both bloody. They both can be bloody. They both can be irrational, but one is damn sure is a solution for the other.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So for me, no way, shape, or form, any woman or defenseless person in my surroundings is going to bring a situation like that to me without being dealt with. And that goes for me, my brothers, my fathers, and all the other cats that I have around me.
And
we have a
that's the
particular
problem.
philosophy. No, because we need to eliminate viruses like him too. I'm not saying she's without fault. I don't know what that woman did, but I'm saying
Right. That's why your number one issue should be like, where did I fail in raising my daughter? Because what she's about to do is now she's leading you. So now you're following after a female. You're no longer the leader. The female's the leader. And you're following after her, and she's about to cause you to crash out and take a breadwinner and a protector out of the family to protect everyone else.
Do you know what she did? You don't know what she did.
Elaborate.
Do you think? I'm saying we don't know what happened.
Yes, I do know what she did
situation.
within the video. Within the video, it's very clear that she said something that was foul, and whatever foul thing she said caused him to react and put a whooping on her. And then the second thing that she did,
or maybe he's just an unstable dude.
1 second, he may be. That's fine. But she knew what she was doing. So she knew what button she was pressing to get a specific reaction. It's very clear for those who are honest. And then the second thing she did is she then brought that information to her brother and or father so that they could then take physical action. And it made it very clear that her brother and father are probably not the best leaders, because if they were, she would have never been in that situation. Number one. Yes, I do. Number one, she would have never been in the situation. And then number two, hold on 1 second. And then number two, they would have brought it to the courts and had it properly dealt with. Because in fact, she had what you would call evidence. She literally had evidence. So why not take it to the courts?
I could tell you firsthand, the courts are filled. I'm not even filled. These cases get dismissed. Domestic violence is one of the biggest.
So you're telling me if they bring a
Hold
court
up, hold up,
case
hold
with
on.
video footage is going to get
Yes,
dismissed?
yes, it happens all the time. This is a fact. This is
Well,
a
then why
fact
didn't she do it?
across the board. They did what they were supposed to do. They did what they're supposed to do. You know, listen, if somebody comes and they put their hands on you, Marquett, are you going for it?
That's
Question.
a totally different situation.
No, it's not, because
gave me a
you're
totally
able
different
to. You're able, I saw your video. I seen you with the jump rope and you
gave me
acted.
a totally different situation.
Nah, listen. If you said something to this man, to a man, and he hooked off on you in that capacity, you would defend yourself. I really believe that you would.
That's correct.
Right?
But I
She
would
was
never
not
take the
able
word
to.
of a female. I would never take the word of a female at face value, because they're not fundamentally honest, integrity-filled beings.
Well,
I would never do that. They're
that
not
has
reliable.
that has nothing to do with his reaction. His reaction was
So
excessive.
you are what I
he
call a
wasn't
male
in danger.
feminist. So you're a male feminist, right?
Sometimes I am.
Yes, you're a male feminist.
Sometimes I am, bro.
That mentality
I love
is
women. I'm cool with that.
No, you're a male feminist, and that mentality is exactly
Explain
what
what
we have
that
to
is.
eradicate, because
Explain
you're just
what
as
it-
emotional as the female.
I'm
And
not
that's
emotional
very
at all.
detrimental. No, to
Emotional
your
is
reactions
what that man
would be.
was.
No, yes, he was emotional.
What that
He
man
probably was emotional. There's no doubt about
I'm
that.
just
Either he
telling-
was.
and I think your comment was emotional when you said she wanted to get whipped and it was wrong
No,
for
she
her
definitely
father.
wanted to get whooped. She
And when
definitely
his
wanted to get
father-
whooped. And it's very common among, I wouldn't say common, but there's a significant portion of black women who want to get whooped.
Uh-oh.
And you can observe it in the behavior that they try to draw it out.
Listen, when someone is raised or in a cage, let's say a cage,
No
or
one's
some
raised in a
confinement.
cage.
Yes, many
Who's
are.
raised in a cage?
Hold on, proverbial cage. Let me explain something to you. When something, any living thing, is raised in confinement or in a cage, whether it be proverbial or otherwise, right? They will grow with some sort of deformities. It's very easy to point.
This
It's
is
very
what women
ezy.
always do. They want to go through their history. The history is.
But you don't see. You're not talking to a woman
You're
right
about
now.
to bring up slavery pretty soon. I can tell.
you're
You're going to bring up
You're
slavery.
not talking about that, and you're not talking about talking to a woman right now. So we leave that totally off the table. Right?
No, we can't leave it totally off the table,
Nah,
because
'cause
your
you
ideology
saying this
and
is-
your thinking is effeminate. It's that of a
No,
liberal
it's
white
not.
woman.
No,
and
it's
that's
not.
precisely why, if you actually
it's
believed
not.
in equality, you would have said, okay, so if
I
we're
don't
equal,
believe
man and
listen,
woman.
I don't believe in equality. I believe in balance.
Oh, you don't believe in equality?
No, I believe in balance. Why would I believe in equality? You think I'm equal? Me and you are not equal. You don't know what I've been through.
Well, it doesn't matter what you've been through. It matters what you are right now. That's the measures. What
So
you are
the only
right now.
only similarities
through
are
is
that
not-
we're both males. That's the only similarities. You don't know much about what I've come to be, and I don't know much about what you've come to be. I respect it. This is why we're in this dialogue. I respect it totally. But I will not, I never say anything about equality. I'm not on that. I'm simply saying that there's a reason why she went to her father and her brother. I don't know what that reason
to
is.
drive further evil and further violence. You see,
Evil.
Here's the simple thing.
So you think that dude should be around?
If you fundamentally look at physical altercation as a bad thing to be avoided, the most logical first step is to ask yourself, why did this female go back into the midst of a man that she knows to be abusive? That was step one. And in going in within this ism, we always say go to the root. And so in the root, if you could prevent her from voluntarily going back into a bad situation, she would have never got punched up in that video. Her brother and father would have never punched up old boy. And her brother and father would not have been incriminated on a video that'll cause them both to go get locked up. So you see that female's sick behavior and thinking has caused a whole set of dominoes to fall down in a negative way that creates another cycle of black men being incarcerated. And that's why when you think in terms of systems, it makes perfect sense. And she was at the heart of the evil situation that unfolded. Now, does that absolve the young man of his poor behavior? Absolutely not. Clearly
Well,
has poor behavior that should
was
be dealt
but
with.
that was my comment. That was my initial comment.
Yes, and that's my point is that your thinking is inferior because your thinking does not, A, go to the root of the issue, number one. And then number two, your thinking is what allows the cycle of black men being incarcerated, largely because of female mischief.
Well, if that was my thinking, then I would be in that kind of trouble, right? If I wasn't a thinker or if I wasn't a problem solver. So you're wrong there. Number two, my comment was based on.
No, we just talked about a situation, and your thinking is the thinking that would have led to that conflict, which leads to jail. These guys are on video assaulting someone.
I mean, the way they handled it was the way they handled it. That's their justice. I can't be mad at that. That's on them.
And their daughter recorded the evidence for the courts. I mean, this is silliness.
Would I have handled it that way? No, but he definitely would have got what he got coming to him. He would have caught everything.
Are you on here justifying what occurred? Yes. And that's why I'm telling you that you're thinking is inferior.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because I have an obligation to defend my family. Now, we only could look at what possibly happened. Only thing we knew is that guy lost his composure. He lost his self-control.
Why do you keep starting there? Start at the beginning. Start at the beginning. Start at the camera was set.
We don't know what the beginning. Because that wasn't the first time.
You're being dishonest and emotional.
That wasn't the first time.
You're being dishonest and emotional.
Never.
You're lying and saying that wasn't the first time. We don't know, but I agree with you that presumably it was not the first time. All right,
then. So
there's what we can presume, and then there's what we know.
Marquett,
so
why bring that statement up?
You're presuming that it wasn't the first time. I think you're probably right on that. What we know is that she set up the camera. What we know is that she said something to inflame him.
Okay.
That's what we know. So
we know that
he
1, 2, 3
ABC it.
We know that she didn't hit him.
Correct. That's correct.
She did not hit him.
That's correct.
And in somebody who's an expert in combat, let me tell you something. If you engage me, you can be talking a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna set it off on you. I'm going to make sure that I'm positioned that you can't get it off on me, but I'm not going to set it off on you.
How is that related to the fact that she said something inflammatory?
It does not matter.
May I give you an example?
Because he could have said something inflammatory back.
Sure. But here's the point.
He chose to engage in trying to hurt that woman.
Yes, he did. There's no doubt about that. We agree there.
So
what you're missing, what you're having trouble acknowledging cognitively, your bias is that I'm pointing out to you.
My bias is that I'm an expert in combat.
No, this has nothing to do with combat, actually.
It has
nothing to do with combat.
It has everything.
So what I'm pointing out to you is the following. It's that if I'm a white guy and I walk up to a black man and I say the N-word with the hard R, does he have the right to haul off on me? Well, legally speaking, no, he doesn't have the right. Should he haul off on me? No, probably not.
Okay.
Is there a likelihood he may haul off on me? Absolutely. Should I know that when I'm saying something like that? Yes. Is it within my control to choose what I say and know that I don't get to choose the reaction of other people? So if I say things that are inflammatory, the other person may react in a physical way. And we observe this all the time. So what I'm pointing out to you is that this female chose to say something that was inflammatory, and then she got the reaction, and it's a reaction that she calculated for. And that, my friend, is evil.
Okay, so let me explain. Let me volley this back to you.
Wait, are you going to address what I'm saying before you volley it? Are you going to address what I actually said?
Listen.
Okay, address the part about her choosing to say something inflammatory.
Yeah, but I don't know what she said.
Neither do I, but do you get the point that it was inflammatory? Can you admit that?
I can't admit anything. I didn't know what she said. But I can assume.
So you're pretending as though this guy's a complete psychopath and then he just decided out of nowhere in an instance to randomly physically assault this girl. That's your story?
No.
You can't be real. That's not honest.
That's not my story.
And that's the problem that we have with black males is that they're dishonest, irrational, and effeminate, and that's why the black females out of control.
Are you going to let me finish?
Because the males are dishonest, weak, and effeminate. You just lied to me. You lied to everyone, and you act as though you don't have the brain cells to infer that she said something inflammatory.
Bro, that don't work on me. That don't work on me.
Don't do that.
That don't work on me. That don't work on me.
Pretend as though you don't have the brain cells to infer that she said something inflammatory. Just be honest.
Listen. That doesn't work on me. Let me volley back and see. I'm being honest. Let me volley it back to you.
You're telling me that you don't think that she said anything inflammatory. That's what you're suggesting.
No, I didn't say that. I said I don't know what she said.
Well, I'm asking you now. Do you think she said something inflammatory?
Possibly. Quite possibly. Quite possibly.
What's the percentage? If you had to put in a percentage, what's the percentage that she said something inflammatory before he hauled off? What's the percentage? What's the percentage?
Yes, let me tell you where your syllogism.
I'm asking you the percentage so that
I
can
don't
understand.
know. That's a ridiculous question to answer.
No, that's not a ridiculous question. It's
what would you say the
reasonable
percentage?
question.
What would you say the percentage is?
It's 99%. What would you say?
So hold on.
What would you say it is? Is there a
I
reason you're not answering the
wouldn't.
question?
I would not give that answer. I would not answer that question.
That's my answer.
Because
So that's why I'm asking you, what's your percentage? It's just a
I
number.
don't have-
I'm
I
giving
don't
you a
have a
box. Just fill in
percentage.
a number.
I don't
Fill
have
in a
one.
number.
I don't have one. I don't have a percentage. I don't know what the precursor was. I don't know anything that happened before. What I do
Well, then why
know,
are you commenting? If you don't have the intellect to be able to analyze something that's on video, why do you feel so strongly? Maybe you not comment on it because you can't make inferences based on visual evidence.
Your statement. I commented on your statement saying that
My statement was about the
video.
video. So if you can't understand the video, then you cannot make any criticism.
And you
of my
also
comments.
said it was. And you also said it was wrong for her parents, her father and brother to whip his behind.
And that's based on what occurred in the beginning, but you are not able to understand what occurred in the beginning.
I saw the same video that you had.
No, you
same
didn't.
video you had. Yes,
No,
I saw the same video.
You didn't see what I saw because I just asked you to make an inference, and you're telling me that you're unable to.
I saw somebody say something. I saw somebody physically react to what was being said. Now, the fact is that
and I asked you using logic, what percentage, what would you put the percentage at?
You're trying to bring logic to an illogical. You're trying to bring logic to an illogical response. That doesn't make sense.
No, sir. I'm just wondering why I asked you the same question 10 times and you keep on ignoring it.
You said
I'm just
if you were a white guy,
asking you. I'm just respectfully asking you right now, just one simple question.
Mark, go ahead.
If you had to put it at a percentage, what percentage would you say it is that
I'm saying
something inflammatory?
I'm saying I would never answer that question. There's a reason why I would never answer that question. One is because the reason
is because you don't have logic, and in the absence of logic, you're just running. It's okay.
That may work on some people. It don't work on me.
I've seen that.
So now back to your question. Back to your
no,
statement.
There's no sense to answering any of my questions. You can't answer the most fundamental question. Give me a second. Let me acknowledge some of the folks supporting the work.
Back to your statement, bro.
Give me a second. Shout out to Emmanuel supporting the work. He used the Stripe link. Appreciate you. May also acknowledge Jonathan, who just got the course on AI web development, AI no-code web development, how to make money with an app. We're going to be starting tomorrow, 7 a.m. EST, bright and early. It's a practicum, which means that you'll be there with me as a corporate work group, and we're going to go through development. You can ask your questions live and get to work live. Give me 1 second. Someone's at the property. Hello? The delivery gate, if you look behind where you are, if you see a mailbox and trash cans, that's not the delivery gate. You should see a large sign that reads Burton Plantation Delivery Gates, and it's pointing. If you see that sign, you're not at the delivery gate, you're at the owner's gate. So if you look back behind you and you just see a field, that's the delivery gate. Wait, give me 1 second. You know what? I'm looking at my camera, and you are at the delivery's gate, so I'm gonna let you in there. All right. One moment. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay. Anyway, so looking forward to those of you who have chosen to invest in yourself. We'll be bright and early, 7 a.m. May I also acknowledge Jamshi, who came in via Venmo. He writes, they carried out their special military operation in a week. I want to make a prediction for everyone. I'll probably do a live session on this later. I predict that there will be further military escalation in Venezuela Generally, you don't want a woman running anything, especially in times of war. This is really a sad thing because she's going to be weaker than a man. But if she actually holds on to what she's saying and the principles that are operating there in Venezuela, which have been since Hugo Chavez, then the Venezuelans are not about to go for this. So the U.S. is going to have to beat them down more viciously. So there will be another military experience there. So I'm the only person who's predicted. I've not heard anyone else speak on that. Trump says they're in control of Venezuela. I'm asserting that they're not. Shout out to Taylor. He writes, "Hi, saying I'm 24. I'm still working through Boston University. Should I prioritize learning your product-based business course or your AI course next?" Definitely the AI course. Definitely, by far. He writes, "I have no experience with both of those skills." Peace of the Saints. Yeah, you're going to want to start with the AI. Time is ticking. In fact, just recently, you guys know I've been very much so invested in AR and VR. And just recently, they came out with new technology for augmented reality headsets. And all of a sudden, you're just seeing they're just popping up so quickly. So you need to move fast to be on the bleeding edge. Shout out to Marcos. He writes, "Peace of the Saints. Haven't caught a live in a while. Also looking forward to the first session of our practicum tomorrow morning." Absolutely. Shout out to Marcos and shout out to all my confirmed saints. I also acknowledge Caleb. He writes, "Peace of the Saints, tuition for this great work." Oh, absolutely. And this is an important clash of ideology. Shout out to Kenneth. He writes, "My son has now been appointed to an integral role on the NYC Mayor-elect's Criminal Justice Committee." Oh, absolutely. They use the low IQ blacks to do their bidding. He's on payroll, and this is not surprising. A lot of blacks are on government payroll because they're not clever enough to create employment for themselves. So they're getting paid by government through some means. Anyways, I yield the floor back to you.
Me? Oh,
Yes, sir.
oh yeah, man.
Jasper.
Yeah. I look, man. I know that physically most women are not able to defend themselves against a man, right?
That's why they should shut up.
In some cases, you are correct because
In most cases.
yeah, I mean, but you know, that's just not human nature, man. Like some
No,
people
it
are
is
gonna,
actually.
you know,
It is.
because you're assuming that every man is operating from a righteous standpoint. If he,
No, sir.
you know,
No, sir. That's why I say they should
know.
shut up. Like me personally,
Yeah.
I wouldn't beat up a chick. I wouldn't
Right.
beat one up. You heard me? And
Right.
I could do a good job at it, but I wouldn't do it. I'm assuming
and why
that
wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it, Marquett?
because there's no utility. There's no utility to it. It doesn't add up to anything. So
Right.
whereas that young man may have felt very angry at whatever she said, there's nothing that a dim-witted broad could say that could get me angry. And even if there
Okay.
was, I would dismiss her. But you see, he's a young man. His hormones are different than my hormones. Surely his upbringing is different than my upbringing. And there's no doubt that his IQ is different than mine. And more importantly, they're both clearly in poverty. He has nearly nothing to lose. So there are a host of reasons that he made his decision. But what's certain is that if you're in the weaker position, you need to behave like you're in the weaker position. And that's why I teach all women, not only the ones that are under my leadership, that you need to behave like a woman, which is to say, a being that is weaker than most other beings, namely men. I yield the floor.
So if someone is weaker, they should not speak out.
As my grandmother said, if you can't whoop them, you don't have any business dealing with them. She said that to me as a young man dealing with other boys who were bigger and stronger. And if I said I had a problem with so-and-so, she said, well, listen, you better either whoop them or leave them alone. Straight like that.
Or you learn how do you think you learn how to become a better
Well, that's what she said.
fighter?
You whoop them. That's what she said. You whoop them.
No, but you might not be able to whoop them today. You might not be able to whoop them today. You know what I mean? There are degrees here before you get to that black belt level and multiple.
So
you get your behind whipped a lot.
We're not talking about being good at fighting. What we're really talking about is respecting your position in hierarchy. As a woman, it is your position to yield to a man. It is not negotiable. You yield. So if she chose to be with that man under his leadership, she needs to yield. If she doesn't like his leadership, she needs to leave the relationship. And the fact that she stayed in there and ended up putting herself in a situation of further harm, that's just due to her own mental illness. Now, in the case of females, sometimes that mental illness is something that's going to hurt her whole life, or it's something that she can be trained out of through proper parenting.
You know what my
and
comment
enculturation.
was, though, right? My comment was regarding his self-control.
Right. And that's my whole point is his self-control was not there and he needs to be developed if he can be. Some of them are lost. Some of these young boys are lost.
Maybe
You need to
he
put them
cannot
down.
be. Maybe he cannot, and maybe that's what her father and brother were doing.
No, because they didn't put him down. They beat him up. So here's what the problem is. And I grew up in LA. Where'd you grow up?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Okay. So I'm guessing Brooklyn and LA probably have some similarities in as much as, some people are not going to let you beat them up and then just let it all be good after that. Sometimes you might beat somebody up and they think, okay, yeah, you got me, but I'll be back.
Maybe.
And either, they're going to show back up. They're going to poke you up. They're going to jump you. They're going to shoot you. They're going to do something. So you have protracted warfare until someone gets killed. So that's the problem.
But let me ask you this. First of all, you're assuming that that's all.
So
LA
under your
and all
scenario,
Brooklyn?
it's protracted warfare until death. Under my scenario, it ends early because she removes herself from the situation.
Or he continues. He continues. Maybe he's a stalker. We don't know anything about this young man. The fact is that what we do know, the fact is that he was not in danger and he exhibited physical force on this woman. Right.
And we both condemn that. So we agree.
Right. We both condemn that. So
yeah.
Now I cannot tell her father or her brother what they should and shouldn't do. I know for sure that I don't have any daughters, but I have nieces. You put your hands on my niece in that fashion, you will be dealt with appropriately. Now, you won't be on no video camera, but you will be dealt with appropriately.
And I'm not going to stop you from that. I believe that's a crash out and that's foolish and that's going to enact the laws of natural selection.
I mean, you just told me that if a white man called me or any of us the N-word, and he should assume that we would crash out.
For his own safety, yes.
Right.
So the white man, for his own safety, should assume that. That's correct.
So assume, but it is a crash out. That means I had the
that would be a crash out.
So that means I lost control. That means I lost control. I gave him control.
No, you could have done that. You could have been in control and chose to do that rationally and calmly. But what I'm pointing out is that it's a crash out in as much as it's not productive. And what I mean by productive, which is to say, if you wanted to stop that person or the problem he represents, the most logical thing to do would be to take his life. And the most logical time to take his life is not in that instance. It's to do it at a time that you've prearranged and made the best of plans such that you can get away with it. So that's the most logical, rational solution if you wanted to enact violence, which I think is fine. And within the ism, that's fine to take someone's life.
Listen,
but
I won't
to crash out and put yourself in a situation where you're going to end up incarcerated because someone used a word on you. I mean, that's fairly silly.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. But sometimes things happen, right? And sometimes you just have to meet somebody where they are. It depends on the circumstance. I'm not a fan of crashing out. I'm not a fan of that at all. I'm very much in control.
You would crash out over a female's words or like.
I didn't say crazy. A females. I said my nieces.
Or a female. A female in your family. That's a female. See, that's the problem. That's when I know people are irrational. They think that because it's their mother or their sister or their cousin, that means that they're a good person.
No.
Crazy.
I know the people in my family, just like you said, the women under your leadership. So I expect them to behave a certain way. So I don't expect that type of behavior to happen to them. That's why I said if you put your hands on it's highly unlikely that my nieces or my mom, or I don't have any sisters, but any of them put themselves in a position. But if you are a woman in my life, then you probably behave in a certain way. So believe me, I'm going to find out what's happening before I do something. But since we're all being presumptuous here, I'm like, I'd imagine she went and told her father, look, this man has been beating on me for so long. I didn't know what to do. Maybe I didn't know how to say something, whatever. Fact is that you know now. And now
and
he knows.
The solution to that is to go beat up the guy? Like, does that
I
unbeat your daughter?
I think their solution was justified in their mode of operations. I can't say that that's mine.
Let me just juxtapose two outcomes and see which one you think is better in the long term.
Would you like me to do it?
Her
before
father,
you say?
So her father is informed and he says, "Hey, stay away from that guy." End of story. Or her father does what he did, which was catch up with the guy and, rough him up. Which one do you think is going to guarantee, like most likely guarantee the better outcome long term?
Depending on the precursor to the situation. I don't know this young man.
Right.
Maybe
with
if
the basic
this
assumptions.
if this was a guy that if you stayed away from him, then he would not come at, because clearly this is not his first rodeo. He's familiar. I don't know where they live. I don't know the proximity of it. I don't know if they have a child together. I don't know any of their history. But it largely depends on what I know before this situation. But what I do know is that you were not in any danger, and you went and you exerted physical force on my daughter. So that requires you for me to address you in some kind of way. Now, again, will it be on some camera where it's going to get me in trouble like that? Seriously doubt that.
Okay.
But you won't be walking away from it unscathed.
I hear you. And this is why your thinking is inferior, because if we were to use a decision tree, and I wish I had a whiteboard to draw this out for you, in fact, to draw it out for everyone, especially the young men, because this is immature thinking.
I like to see it. Because you just said you'd do the same thing. You just said you'd do the same thing.
That, actually. That's untrue. I never said I would crash out over what a female says. That's completely untrue.
And I never said crash out. And I'll tell you what, also.
No, you just said that you're physically attacked.
And nothing is inferior over here. I know you don't believe that.
Oh,
I know. Listen,
it's not even belief. I'm certain of it. It's mathematical certainty. It's mathematical.
That's a ridiculous statement.
I'll draw out the decision tree for you right now.
That's a real.
I hear you. Okay, I'm gonna draw out the decision tree.
Come on, bro.
I'm gonna draw out the decision tree.
You don't believe anything's inferior about my thought process or me.
No, No, I'm not saying you are inferior. I'm saying your thinking is inferior, and the reason I'm not saying you are inferior is because you could learn. I'm 55 years old. I'm from East New York, Brooklyn. I've been through all kinds of stuff, bro. Right.
And you say you from LA, and you from LA. You from LA. I'm telling you, I probably got dudes in your homies that respect me a lot. So don't tell me my thinking is inferior.
So with your thinking, your ultimate thing is the crash out, right?
No, that's not you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah, you said that if you said
no, you're wrong. You're wrong.
No,
and if you're going to start an equation, start with constants and variables. If you're going to start it, I'm telling you.
If you calm down for a moment.
I'm very calm. I'm just giving you instructions.
I'm just going to explain to you what I'm doing.
I got a whiteboard too.
All right, you can pull it out, but if you just calm down for a moment.
I'm very calm.
You said that
crash out is not my start point.
I understand. This is
constants and variables.
This is not the starting point. This is a decision tree. So the decision trees don't need constants and variables.
You first started. You said your starting point is the crash out. If you just calm
down, you're just being very emotional right now. If you just calm down.
No, you just be correct, Marquett. Be correct.
Just calm down. Calm down for a moment. So you said that young man would have to deal with you physically. Is that correct?
That's not the starting point, bro.
I'm not saying that's the starting point.
It's if and then. You talk about logic.
You're refusing to answer the questions that are basic.
I'm telling you, let's deal with logic.
All right, I hear you. Just give me a second.
If not, then that. And or.
If you just
you can't be the only one that speak, bro. And also,
yes.
You can't.
I'm saying let me explain this, and then I'm gonna yield the floor. And if you want to bust out your whiteboard, I'm gonna listen.
Go ahead.
But all I'm asking is if you just permit me to explain this.
Go ahead.
Okay, so in your thinking, so the situation occurs here. This is the spark of what caused the issue right here. And from there's two decisions you could go. What I suggest is that the father would tell the young lady, just leave the guy alone. Leave him alone. So you just leave. So there's leave. In your situation, you say fight. Meaning that you, the father, you fight, right? So if you, the father, you fight,
I never
your
said
outcomes. That. Okay, I hear you. So the outcome of the father can be either that he gets away, so meaning like no consequences. So I'll just put escapes, meaning escapes responsibility for his actions. So he escapes, or he can end up getting jail time. Or there's yet another option that he can end up getting hurt. He can get attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if the father fights the young man, then the father can himself end up getting attacked at some other time unexpectedly. The father could escape all consequence and he just won the situation. That'd be a W. Or the father could end up having to go to the courts and going to jail. Those are the three opportunities that the father has. And these obviously have different percentages of likelihood, but we'll say that this is a L, this is a W, and this is an L. So he has more probabilities of losing, and they come fairly quickly. Conversely, on the leave side, if the father just left the situation alone, then, and I'm going to just start this up here. Actually, do this in the middle. So just put leave, and I'll do that in black.
I'm there.
Yeah, fair enough. So if the father were to just tell the girl to leave, then potentially situation is done. Or the situation continues, meaning that the young man stalks her and attacks her, which is less likely, but it's possible. So situation continues.
Where are you getting these less likely? Where are you getting your outcomes from?
I'm not even like assigning a percentage to them at this point. Mm-hmm. So I just want to show you something. So if the father tells the girl to leave this young man and she does leave him, the situation can be completely done. No harm, no foul. We all walk away.
Possibly.
Or just a possibility. Mm-hmm. Or the situation continues. Then the father could go and say, okay, he can involve the police. Mm-hmm. Or he can fight himself, like you recommended. Sure. Right? So
I didn't recommend anything. You're wrong.
Okay. All right.
I said he's justified.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I didn't recommend anything.
My point is that in using the Marquettian logic, the difference between your way and what I'm recommending is that in my way, you have fewer chance. So let's see, this is a W, this is a L. In my way, you can resolve the situation much more safely, much more quickly, the first round of decision making. And if the guy misbehaves and proves himself to be a worse actor than expected, he can still consider taking the actions that you recommended, or he could continue on what I would probably recommend, which would be to contact the police and let the police serve the taxpayer and still continue to maintain his freedom and have other men basically do his bidding and do his dirty work. Mm-hmm. So it shows you that this is the primary choice, which is to have the girl leave, situation is done, or secondarily use the police. So if you use these two and they don't work, then you still have the option of fighting as you recommended. And I would even further suggest that if the option of fighting was taken and everything went left and you ended up in the courts, you'd be viewed much more favorably. So my point is that your decision making is inferior because it leads very quickly to a higher number of outcomes that are bad, meaning unfavorable. I yield the floor to you.
Okay. One, let me give you how real illustrations work, right? Sure. Since you bought this as your apex, what normally happens when you have intersection lines, they go like this, right? They go like that. It's a vector, right? Now, you're saying the starting point is here. What we don't know anything up here. Right? So up here, maybe she tried to leave before. You don't know. We do know that happened before. That's why she set up the camera, because she knew a likely outcome. But you don't know what she's tried to do, what she attempted to do before. Right? And that's the problem with starting right here. I never said the start point was the crash out. I never said that. What I did say is that you cannot be so sure of what never happened before. But what we can be talking about is the constant. So you want to put the C, it's not for crash out, it's for constant. The variables over here, That's very easy to do. To say we can presume. You could say, oh, she said something that was problematic, or she said something that was dude.
I'm listening to you. You said she
Yeah,
said
but why you putting that type of stuff? Why you putting that type of stuff? That's lame. See, that's lame. And you know you wouldn't do that in front of me.
Wait, hold on.
So you know you wouldn't do that in front of me. With those little things.
Wait, hold on 1 second.
Nah,
hold on 1 second.
Nah, we
hold
good.
On 1 second.
We good, Marquett.
I'm not interrupting you. You explaining what you're doing.
Marquett, you wild with that. You wild with that.
You explaining what you're doing.
New York
right?
N-words.
Why'd you stop?
New York N-words. I thought we wasn't doing that.
I didn't say that. That's the audience.
That's
Those
the audience saying a word.
Those are chats.
Yeah, put it back up. Come on.
Those are chats.
Come on, bro. Those your friends. But it's cool.
Those are
because
chats.
They must be women. They must be women beaters.
Wait,
I'm not cool with that,
Kaden,
bro.
come on,
I'm not cool with that.
Kaden,
I'm not cool with that.
When I was explaining, you kept interrupting me, and then you finally stopped,
bro.
and then you let me finish.
Bro.
You were.
That.
It's true. Now that you're explaining, I didn't interrupt you at all. Why didn't you finish explaining?
Hold on, because the nonsense is stop. The nonsense got to stop, bro.
Kaden, you wildin'. You wildin'. Wait, Kaden, you wildin'.
Yo, you saw those comments? I'm like, nah, bro. We don't do that type of nonsense, man.
Look, you wildin'.
That man put his both hands like this on that woman, right?
Okay,
right?
Someone said you stopped your whiteboard example because you knew it didn't make sense.
Man, I'm
waiting for your whiteboard example. I
already did.
I was already listening. That was it.
There's a vector. There's a vector. So there's things that happen before you get to your point of intersection. And I don't need to explain high level thought. I don't have to explain high level thought to low level people. For him to say some stupid stuff like that is pointless. What they say, a bee never wastes time trying to convince a fly that honey is better than shit. So I'll stop that. You gave me a point of an apex. I gave you a point of intersection and upward vector, and that's how it works in science. So I discuss variables and constants. Simple as that. I don't have to go too much further because you understand what I'm saying.
I was using a decision tree that comes from economics and behavioral models.
But this ain't that's not a behavioral model because you didn't have
thinking through concepts like Nash equilibrium and things like that apply much better than what you were talking about in terms of graphing things. So using behavioral models that look at rational actors and decision trees and likely outcomes is a much more intelligent.
So then you got to have the proper starting point. That wasn't the right starting point.
No, I had the proper starting point. You didn't even use the appropriate tool to describe human behaviors. You're talking about vectors.
Neither did you.
That's unrelated.
Neither did you.
I think you're just unfamiliar with decision trees. I think you're unfamiliar with behavioral economics. I think you're unfamiliar with Nash equilibrium. I think you're just unfamiliar with those tools.
You're wrong. Like I just told you, bro. You don't know anything about me. Matter of fact, you might have done some research. So I think you do. I don't think you pull me on here without knowing certain things about me.
It's not about not knowing anything about you. I just observed you go to the whiteboard and then not do anything.
You saw a lot. You saw a lot. It's simplicity.
I took out my time to go through the whiteboarding from the origin of the issue all the way through.
That's not the origin.
You couldn't
go
from the origin of the issue.
The origin is the vector, the upward vector.
You're dealing with
origin
unknowns.
Is the upward vector.
I was dealing with known values that started in the video. You're dealing with speculation. So, for example, if you were in the court of law, an attorney that was against you would say
on that girl.
Speculation.
He's wrong.
They would say speculation.
No, you're speculating. You said, do you know what she said? No. So that means you were speculating.
I did not say what she said because
you said she probably provoked them.
That had nothing to do with the whiteboarding.
And what would the attorney say?
We're referring to
speculation, Your Honor.
The whiteboarding. No, sir. Actually, in fact, in law,
probably
if you're dealing with a criminal case, you have to be able to connect dots.
Yeah, you ever been in a criminal case? You ever been in a criminal case?
You really got to calm down.
I'm in LA too, homie.
So here's the thing. I didn't say what she said because it doesn't matter the exact words that she said. What I pointed out is that she said something inflammatory. And in fact, that's the word
You
that
don't
I used
know.
8 times.
You don't know what she said.
I don't know. That's correct. Because if
Speculatory.
everything was speculatory is not a word. You mean speculative. But more importantly, what is
You know what I mean?
I hear you. But what is
You know what I mean?
is that there was a direct impact from her words. And that doesn't mean that the young man was justified. What I'm saying in a moral sense
Then what are
is
we
that
talking about, Marquett?
we're
If
talking
he wasn't
about the roots, we're
justified,
talking about
why
prevention.
did you say what you said?
Kanan, we're talking about prevention.
Come on, bro.
That's what we're
And
talking about. To answer your
on, bro.
question, I already answered your question. It's prevention. You see, in your small, limited thinking, you just basically react in
Knock
an
it off.
irrational, emotional way. Whereas in
Knock
my
it off.
thinking, I describe ways to avoid this kind
And
of
you're
situation.
thinking it's all right to put their hands on the girl. In my thinking, I would defend her if somebody
Well, that's my
did
whole
that.
point is that weak males are
Right.
very dangerous because they do the
Ain't
bidding
nothing-
of females. They
ain't
do the
nothing weak.
bidding of females.
Ain't
You
nothing
see?
weak.
A female comes to you with a story and you're like, oh my God. And then you become like,
Let me
you
ask
put your
you
cape
a
on.
question.
You
Are you
go crash
are you
out.
being speculative right now, calling me weak, or are you being certain?
I'm telling you from your mentality, it's emotional.
You don't
it's
know my
irrational,
mentality, and I'm not emotional.
You're displaying it right now. And what's worse is that you
Just because
take
you
the
say
word of a
stuff
female,
wrong. Just because you say stuff wrong. I didn't take anyone's word.
So
I didn't
we
take
could
anyone's
never,
word.
ever trust a man who takes a female's
Nor
word
could
at
you.
100%.
Nor could you take a word because she never said a word. What are you talking about?
I
That's
think
my
you're missing
saying.
out on. You're missing out
Bro,
on.
my statement
you're
was,
missing
bro,
out.
what are you talking about?
Which is also
That was
a curious statement too.
Bro, what are you talking about? You talking about
again,
she
it
deserved,
reeks-
she wanted this whipping. Man, knock it off, bro.
it
That's not
reeks
like,
of the
so
kind
you
of
want to say
effeminate
NY
thinking
dudes,
and behavior.
that's the lame LA dude, the lame version of an LA dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he want to be a badder chick than a chick. Knock it off, bro.
That didn't
Knock
make
it
any
off.
sense, but that's okay. That didn't make any sense.
I'm
But the
telling
point
you, you
is-
acting like a bad chick right now, man.
No, that didn't make any sense.
Nah,
And
you acting
this
like a
is-
bad chick right now.
Just calm down. Just calm
I
down.
am calm. I am calm,
You're not
bro.
calm. You're not.
Yes,
calm.
I
No
am,
one
man.
thinks
Like,
you're
yo,
calm.
you.
We just
Because
saw
you
in
clowning
the.
now. I
we
try
just
to.
saw in
You
the-
trying to be
You're
nice. You
not
clowning
calm.
now.
You're not calm at
Clowning
all.
now,
we
bro.
saw in the chat where the entire chat was saying that you were emotional. Do you
Those
think
are
that
your
they all-
friends. Those
do
are
you
your
think they all
friends.
separately have.
Those are
decided
your
to
friends, and you
conspire
only
against
showed
you?
some of them. I tell
You
you
think they all
what.
conspired and they're all
I tell you
conspiring
what.
against you?
I tell you, there's a bunch of people that do not agree with you. I am one of them. When you say
Oh,
stuff
yes.
like, when you
But
say
the
like
point-
that, but
That's
ain't
not
no
surprising
listen.
because high
but-
IQ is the lower part of the distribution. You see, so it's not surprising that there's a significant percentage of people who are emotional.
No,
and they're
I
not
enjoy
systems thinkers.
I enjoy our discussion because I do
Yes, but
believe that you're a
the
bright
way
dude.
that you-
but you're trying to be antagonized, but that don't work against somebody
No,
like
I'm
me,
not
bro.
trying to antagonize you. You
That don't
feel
work against me.
antagonized because you rarely.
I don't
deal with
feel
people who think
anything.
differently.
I don't feel
You're-
anything.
You rarely deal with these
so
ideas.
indifferent about that.
So no, you're not indifferent.
And then
You're
you
not
being
a person
presumptuous
who deals
again.
with- no, you're
You
not. a
don't know
person
me
who
and you
deals
saying
with-
what I really deal with. Come on, man. Knock it off.
I can
This is
tell.
what I'm
I
saying.
can tell because your whole reaction, you're like, if my niece or daughter tell me this, I gotta go see. He gotta see
That's
me. It's
right.
and that's the emotionalism. Like that's the display.
Now,
your instinct
now,
was not.
hold on.
you'll
Now
notice
the tone
difference.
of my
Real
voice.
quick,
You want to
you'll
try to
notice
make
the
some
difference.
funny stuff.
One
And
second.
again,
You'll
none of
notice-
this stuff you would do in front of me.
You don't have to.
None of it.
Wait, hold on. Don't
None
get
of
out of
it.
your body. Hold on.
None
Don't
of
get
it.
out of your body. Don't get out
None
of your
of
body.
it. None
Don't
of
get
it.
out of your body. See,
None of
people
it.
like you. See, I try
None
to
of
keep
it.
cool with people like you because y'all are fake. Like y'all are fake.
I told you I'm in LA
Like
too. Huh?
I deal with what's documented. I deal with what's
See, there
documented.
you go.
I have an eerie feeling. No, really. I have an eerie
There
feeling
we go.
that if we lined up my rap sheet next to your rap sheet, that they'd be like yours would be a little short.
Rap sheet? Why
Yeah,
we bring
I have a
up rap
feeling yours
sheet?
would be a little
Come on,
bit
now,
short.
now we on one of them talking where we want to talk criminal
because
past.
you start
I don't do that,
talking
Slim.
like no. Hold on one second. Let's be clear. No, hold on.
Bruh.
Stop playing. Stop playing games.
Knock it off.
You
Knock
start
it-
talking like
Let's
you're
knock
tough.
it off
Don't
right
do
now.
that. No.
Knock
You
it
knock
off
it
right
off
now.
because you're not like that.
I mean,
I keep talking to all you clowns. None of you guys got
Yeah.
rap sheets. You never did anything, but you
Right.
got a big mouth. You never did
Absolutely.
anything.
Absolutely.
What's on your criminal record?
Absolutely. We won't discuss it here.
No. We can
We won't
discuss it right
discuss it
now.
here.
Because
No,
you're
we
big
won't.
and bad. You big and bad. What's
I'm
on
not big.
your criminal record?
6'2", 215. Not that
Nah,
big.
don't see. This is cute. It's always you guys. You
Not
start telling me
good.
your stats. This is not your
Not
dating
good.
profile. This is not your dating profile.
We all
My
do
point.
checkpoints. You
You
should be able to
are a
find
clown.
out.
You never did anything. You never put in
Right.
any work. You're a
Right.
coward.
Right.
Never broke the law. You keep
Right.
talking about what you did. You never did anything.
Right.
You get all your
Look
checks
at-
from the government.
Look at you.
That's why you
That
act like a
boy-
liberal white woman. You never
that
stood on your
boy
own.
is in his
So
feelings.
you start talking
I finally
crazy.
got you.
never done
I
anything.
finally got
you
you.
never done anything.
I
It's a
finally got
disgust
you.
for males like you. You act like you big and bad. You never broke a law.
All right.
You're so
right,
dishonest.
Right.
We
Where
can't deal
you-
with people
hold
like
on,
you.
hold
So
on, hold on.
dishonest. Just tell
Where
me
you
this.
from?
What are
Where
three
you-
charges you got on your rap sheet? From you said you're like 50 years old. From age 0 to now. What are 3 charges? Just give me 3 charges.
55.
Just give me 3 charges.
55.
Just give me 3
Slim.
charges.
I don't talk about
Kanan,
those
give me
things.
3 charges.
We
Just
don't
tell me
talk
3
about those
charges you
things,
got.
brother. We don't talk
Okay,
about
because
those
you don't
things,
have
brother.
any. You're a liar and a clown.
Listen,
Because you're
it's
too
easy-
cowardly. Why don't you
it's
just
easy
be
to
honest and be like,
prove it.
Marquett, I was a schoolboy my whole life. I never
Yeah.
done anything and I have no rap sheet. Imagine being scared to tell another man and declare who you've been. I'm just
Oh, we
speaking
can
for the
do.
record.
We can do it offline. We
I'm
can
just
do it
speaking-
offline.
No. Well,
We
let
can
me
do it
ask you a
offline.
question. Why
Don't ask
is
me
it?
anything like that? We can
Why
do it
is
offline.
it?
We can
Why
do it
is
offline.
it? Real quick,
Don't
just
come
tell
to
me
me out
this.
here
Just tell me
with
this.
millions with a bunch of
Tell me this.
people.
Why
You sound
is it?
foolish.
Listen, real quick. Calm down.
You sound
Why
foolish.
is it?
No, bro.
Why
let's
is it
do
if I ask
offline.
Kanan,
Let's
just
do it
shut up real
offline.
quick. Just shut up. Just shut up. I'm trying to tell you something.
Let's do it
Why
offline.
is it?
Ask me
No,
those
no, no,
questions
no, no.
offline.
No.
Or I
Why
can meet
is
you
it?
wherever you at.
Why is it? Just
I can
calm
meet
down.
you wherever you at. I can meet you
Just
wherever
calm
you
down.
at. Your hood,
down.
LA, gladly.
Just calm down. That's
Philly,
fine. Calm down.
gladly.
Calm down.
Philly, gladly.
If you're so
Nah,
real,
don't
if you're
calm
so
down,
real,
man. Very
if
real.
you're
You
so
see me in
real
front of
and
him.
you're an honest man,
Knock
if
that
you're
off,
so
bro.
real and you're an honest
Wanna
man,
just-
why won't you tell me?
You know what I'm saying? Dude, because it does
Kanan,
not
just be
matter.
honest. You don't have any. You're a nice guy.
Right,
You're a
I'm
nice guy.
saying,
There's nothing wrong
I
with
am-
that.
I am
That's
a
why you
nice
took
guy.
martial arts. You
I
took
am a
martial
nice
arts
guy.
in high school.
In
You're taking
high
karate
school.
in high school.
In
You
high
took
school.
karate.
Well,
You're a
let's just see how
karate
well-
kid.
Let's see how well
You're a
it works.
karate kid.
Let's see how
You're a
well it
karate
works.
kid.
Let's see how well it worked.
You're a karate kid, man.
That
You
too.
never hurt nobody in your life. You
I
never
don't
hurt
know about
nobody
that.
in your whole life.
I don't know.
You're
I'm
a karate
hurting you
kid.
right now. I'm hurting your feelings
You're a
right
karate
now.
kid.
I'm hurting your
Now,
feelings right now.
Tell me, why are you scared to tell me what's on your rap sheet? Or
Why do I
tell
have
the
to be
truth that you don't have a
scared?
rap sheet? Why are you
You
scared?
be scared.
Great.
be
What are
scared
3
of?
things on your rap sheet? What are 3 things on your rap sheet?
No, we're not doing that, brother. We're not
Why?
doing that.
Why are you scared to tell the truth? You scared of the truth?
I just,
Why are you scared of the truth?
We
Tell
talked
me
about
why you're
cause
scared of
and
the truth.
effect. We talked about
Tell me
cause
why
and
you're scared of the
effect, right?
truth.
We supposed
Tell
to
me
be
why you're
time out.
scared of the truth.
We supposed to
Why
be
are you scared
two
of the truth?
And intelligent brothers talking, and you
Nah,
got
nah. Forget all that. Now I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Really?
Just like you can see right here, it says Buddy could start acting tough live, but
this
want to
clown.
talk in private. That's what I'm saying. You started with the tough talk. Tell me the truth, Karate Kid. Why are you scared to tell the truth of who you? I simply asked you either say I don't have a criminal record or tell me 3 charges. Why won't you tell the truth? Why can't you tell the truth about who you are?
Because that's not what this was supposed to be about.
No, why can't you tell the
I
truth
can
about
stay
who
on
you
topic.
are?
I can stay on top.
Why can't you tell the truth about who you are?
My truth is out there, bro? My truth is out there.
That's fine. So why are you scared to state it right
It's
now?
nothing scared. There's nothing scared. I'm in every place you can imagine.
He
Underworld
says,
and
Kanan,
above.
you're scared. Kanan,
Who
you're
the hell is
scared.
these clowns? I don't care.
Kanan,
I don't
you're
care what
so
these
why won't you
clowns
say
saying.
what it is? Like, what's stopping
It don't
you?
matter because this is not
What's
that
stopping
platform.
you?
Where I'm from, we don't do that.
Where you from?
That's
Shut
y'all-
up. You ain't
that's
from
y'all
nowhere. You's
lane,
a
son.
sucker where you from.
That's y'all
You's a
lane.
sucker where you from.
Right.
You's a sucker where you from.
Well, let's come
You
see.
ain't
I come to
nobody
your
where
hood.
you from.
I come to your hood. You come to mine.
You ain't nobody where you from.
Yeah, right.
You ain't
bro.
nobody where you from. You's a sucker
Yeah.
where you from. I searched him using his real name. No criminal charges I can find.
Right.
You're lame, buddy.
Good, beautiful. Thank
You're
you.
lame.
My people
You're a
do
good
great
kid.
work.
You were a good
My
karate
people
kid,
do
man.
great.
Kanan, tell the truth.
We
I just
can-
want
we
you to
can
say,
dance.
I have never
We can
been
dance.
convicted of a crime. I've
We
never
can
been convicted of a
dance.
crime.
Never. we
Kanan, can you be honest real quick? Can you just admit you've never been convicted of a crime?
We can dance.
Kanan, just admit you've never been convicted of a crime.
We can dance.
Kanan,
can
that's all good.
dance.
Can you admit you
I
never
could
been
come-
convicted of a crime?
Dude, wait, just tell me where. Just
Why
tell
are you
me
so
where.
scared?
LA,
We've done this before.
Philly.
I've done this before with you people. You guys always act tough on the live stream, and then I set it up, and then y'all start DMing with
Set up.
excuses. We literally had this
it
before.
up.
And the thing that happens is you guys get intellectually dominated, and then you get mad and emotional. You
Women.
start saying
I
things that
love
you
this
can't
stuff,
deliver
though.
on. You can't
Whatever you
deliver
wanna
on.
do. Whatever you want.
Nah,
to do,
you's a
champ.
coward. Imagine being such a coward that
I
you're scared
told
to
you.
be yourself.
I told you.
You're such a
I told
coward
you, invite
that you're
me.
scared to say, Marquett, I've never caught a case. You're right. I was a karate kid.
Marquett.
My mom used to take me to Chuck E. Cheese for my birthday. I grew up in a
Marquett.
nice middle class situation. It set me up for
Marquett.
success, Marquett. You're right.
Marquett,
I got
you
things that I
invite me,
love.
go
I'm not
ahead,
going
I'll
to trade
show
them
up.
in.
Invite
You
me
just be
somewhere else,
babbling.
I'll show up. I'll
You
show
just
up.
be babbling.
And tell all your
you
fans to come.
Everyone's seen someone just like you say the same
Right.
exact thing. Oh, I'm 6'5", 240. And then
Right.
when it
I
was
ain't
time
seen
for
none
the
of that.
fade, I set it all up. Then when it was time for the
Hold on.
fade,
So you
nigga text me like, oh, I
hold on.
can't come out.
So you
I
want
can't
to
come
fade?
out. I
You want to
can't be
fade?
there. I
You
can't
want
be
to
there.
fade? Hold on. You want to fade?
Listen,
I'm asking you. You
Kanan,
want to fade? Do you want to fade?
what I'm asking you,
Do you want to fade?
everybody knows you're never going to show up for a fade.
Right,
Everyone
right,
knows
right,
that.
right,
Everyone
right.
knows that.
Do you want
Everybody
a
knows
fade?
that. Ken.
Do you want
Kenneth,
a
stop
fade?
it, Brody. You're way up in New York.
Listen,
You're not
I
going to
don't
come
know.
down and get
Listen,
this smoke.
let me
Just
tell you
stop it.
something. Let me
Kanan,
tell you
stop
something.
it. Let's stop with the
Listen,
tough talk. Let's just
I
get
don't
clear on
wanna
who we
fade
actually
with you.
are.
I don't
That's
wanna
fine. Let's
fade
just
with
get real quick. Kanan,
You know
shut up.
why?
Let's just get clear on
Because
who we
I will
are.
destroy
No,
you.
shut up with all that. I don't want to hear none of that.
I will
Just let's get
destroy
clear
you.
on who we are. Why will you
And you
not
probably like
declare
men.
who you are?
Like
Why
men.
won't you declare who you actually are, Kanan? Just admit, just be a man and say, Marquett, I pretended that I have a criminal record and I don't have one. There's nothing wrong with that. Just declare who you are.
Who said
Just
I
be
had-
real.
Who said I had a criminal record?
So you're
Who
admitting
said
you don't
that?
have any criminal charges,
Who
right?
said that? I didn't confirm or
Okay.
deny.
Nah, you just a Tybo guy.
All right.
You just do
That's
Tybo
what it-
at home.
That's what it is. That's what
You
it
just do
is. You know
Tybo.
what? I'll be Tybo.
You do
at
Tybo.
home.
Jasper,
I'll be
real
that.
quick though, do you understand the difference that I'm pointing out to you? Do you understand the fact that you have no criminal record? You never did anything. When I showed the decision tree and I talk about opting for peace and opting
Right.
for the simple solution, it's because I've seen violence.
Right.
I've seen the criminal court system from the inside.
Right.
You never
Right.
seen that. So you just a babbling ass nigga. That's why we
Right.
can't trust people like you, because you lead
Right.
people wrong because you talk tough because you never did anything tough. It's easy when you theoretically would go hurt somebody, but you never
Right.
actually went and hurt nobody. So you don't know the
Right,
true
right.
consequences. That's why I can't respect you.
Right. Well,
You a lame nigga. You won't even be honest about who you are. Imagine being that
See,
lame. Imagine being so
following
lame
rules.
where you can't tell the truth about who you are. You're a lame nigga.
You
You can't even tell the truth of who you are.
I'm trying to ask is what are we trying to accomplish here? Well, I thought we was
No,
gonna
don't try to do that. Don't try to de-escate
bro.
after you tried to
Ain't no
talk tough.
de-escalating.
You tried to
Ain't no
talk tough, but you're not a tough guy.
I'm
You've
there
never
with
been a
you.
tough guy.
I'm right
You've never
there
been a
with
tough guy.
you.
You're just a knucklehead. I give you a nuggie.
Oh,
I'll
we
pull you
can-
aside and I'll give you a nuggie. You're not a tough guy.
Tell me where and I'll show
You're a
up.
nice guy.
I'ma
You're not an aggressive person. You're just an emotional person.
I'm gonna send you
You're
a
an emotional
location,
person.
brother.
You're an emotional person.
I'm gonna send you a location.
You're
brother.
not like that, because if you was really a wild boy, you have no issue saying this is what's on my criminal record. Don't play games. Nobody believes you.
Let's
Let me
get
ask
off
you a
the
question.
line. Let's get off the line.
Jasper, say we
Let's
was
get off
walking.
the
Say
line.
you was walking around in New York, right? And I saw you, and I fired on you. Would you tell the police, or you would just keep it
What
G?
you mean fired on me? What you mean?
If I punch them glasses off your face,
Oh,
would you
word.
gonna tell the police, or you just gonna keep
That's
it
an
G?
easy question. You would never do that.
Okay, fair enough. But if I
That's
punch
an
them
easy
glasses off
question.
your face,
That's what
if
a
I
question.
punch them glasses off your face,
No,
Jasper,
that's an
are you
easy
gonna
question.
keep it
You would
G,
never
or
do
you
that.
gonna tell the boys?
You would never do
I
that.
hear you, but I'm asking you.
No, I will call
Under
the
any
ambulance for you.
circumstance,
I will call the
under any
ambulance for you
circumstance.
after I'm finished with you.
But Jasper, what's the evidence that you ever did anything to
I will
anybody?
call the
Jasper,
Listen,
what's the evidence you've ever done
can
anything
see.
to anybody?
we could see. We
Just
could
real
see.
quick, Jasper, I want to do a Google search. Can you show me one shred of evidence you ever hurt anybody in your whole life?
Why would you sound like a fool?
Is there one
sound
shred
like
of
a fool.
evidence?
You sound like
Jasper,
a
is
fool.
there one
Listen,
shred of
if-
evidence
hold on.
that you've
This one I'ma
ever
ask
hurt
you.
anybody
This
in your
one I'ma
entire
ask you.
life?
This one I'm gonna ask you.
Why would anybody believe you could do
if
something
you
to the
know-
big homie? You never done anything to anybody.
Big homie. The fact
never
that
done
you would
anything to
even think
anybody.
that- you sound
You never
crazy.
done anything to anybody.
Now-
You're a nut.
Now, I
Just
gotta
Jasper,
stop
Jasper,
like
you
that.
need to focus on taking
Nigga,
your
shut
Metamucil
up,
and
nigga.
staying out the way. Man, you
Nigga,
mess around,
shut
need a
up.
hip replacement dealing with somebody like me, Jasper. You better sit
I'll
down and
handle
shut
that
up.
for you.
Because when I see you, Jasper, if I see you, I probably wouldn't even recognize a weird ass nobody like you. You send your sons, there'd be sacrifices. Your sons would be sacrifices, boy. None of y'all could see me. Your whole bloodline couldn't see me because you dead soft. You never see nobody like me. You a paper boy. You's a schoolboy. You's a goddamn karate kid.
I'll come to you, brother.
You would never do that. You would
I
never.
will come. I just sent you a
we hear
location.
this all the time.
I just sent you a location.
All right, here we go.
And I don't have
no,
beef
I'm gonna
with
take you up. I'm gonna take you up on that. I'm gonna take you up on that. No, I'm gonna take you up on that. No, I'm gonna take you up on that. I'm gonna take you up on that. You said I will come to you. I'm gonna take you up on that. I'm gonna give you come to my plantation. I'm gonna take you up on that. You said that you will come to me. Can you do it this week? Because you're a business owner. Do it this week. Do it this week. Fantastic.
Just so
I'm pulling up my calendar. Hold on. I'm gonna take you up on that.
Just so we clear, what are we doing? We going. What we doing? We putting on the mitts? We doing it with no mitts? What we doing?
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Do we want proper supervision?
So
I'm not
today is the
going
5th. So listen, today is the 5th.
Bro,
You said you would come to me. You said you would come to me. Now hold on. We're gonna set this up.
I will.
I like that. I appreciate that. You're gonna come to me. Fantastic. Let's set this up. Today's the 5th. The end of the week is the 11th. Come this week.
No, I can't.
Come this week.
I can't, bro. I'm busy.
Every time with you guys. Every time. Every time.
Bro, if I'm asking you a question, if you
you're
mad
not
today,
serious, dog.
if you mad
You're not
today, you
serious,
be mad
man.
later.
You're not serious.
All I ask you is a couple questions.
See, everybody
even
can
know
see.
where
You got on. First thing you said was you're a business owner. What kind of business owner don't have control of his schedule? That's extraordinary.
Busy?
Yeah. Okay, bro. You's a jokester. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. Is there anything you want to say before you hop off? Anything you want to say before you hop off?
Mitts or no mitts?
Bro, you're not serious. Because
come on, man.
One thing I know, and I know this from business, when people lack urgency, they're not serious. The deal ain't gonna close. So I'm not gonna sit here and play games with you. I'm not gonna sit here and play games with you. If you really wanted to get this work, if you really wanted to get this work, you'll get here this week. But you don't want this work. So we're not gonna play games with it.
Then come to me then.
That's
come to me. I can't make
this
it. This
exact same thing the last guy did. Same thing the last guy did. You literally just said you were going to come to me, and I said I'll take you up on that offer. And then now all of a sudden you ask me to come to you. You're a dirty rascal. You're a dirty rascal. You got anything? You got anything else to say before we get out of here?
No, I wish we could have stayed on topic. That's what I wish we could have.
Yeah, but you started talking tough.
Nah,
bro.
bro.
The fades are closed this week. I agree. No, you started talking tough, and that's the only reason it went left. Because I don't like when suckers like you talk tough. You start talking tough. You never do anything.
You to the hospital.
You never do anything.
Don't
you were a schoolboy. You the kind of nigga didn't want to get your uniform dirty at school. You that nigga. You didn't want to get your uniform dirty at school.
You wore a uniform?
No, sir. I went to public school. You were in the Boy Scouts. You were in the Boy Scouts. You're in the Boy Scouts. I never heard of a nigga ask for a fade and then somebody said, "Oh, fantastic. That's exciting. Come this week." And then they go, "Oh, I can't make it this week." That's because you don't want to fade. You're a jokester. You're a jokester. Imagine you said you would come to me for a fade. I said, excellent. Come this week. And then you're like, oh, I can't make it this week. Stop it, bro. You don't want this work. J Money writes, he started playing tough. Now Marquett's the problem.
J Money too.
He started playing tough. Exactly. That's what you did.
I'd love to get involved with you.
Nah, you would never. Because I gave you the option. I just gave you the chance. And then you said you got a fingernail appointment. You got to go to the salon. You're not even a man of your word. You said, Marquett, I'll come to you. And then I said, excellent. And I'm so excited about that. Come this week. Can I take your offer? Will you come this week?
Listen, hold on. What dojo you want me at?
Will you come this week?
What dojo you want to meet at? What dojo you want to meet at? You in California? Hold on. You in LA? Are you in LA? Are you in LA, Holmes?
Jasper.
Are you in LA?
You stated.
Are you in LA or are you in Philly?
You said I will come to you.
Where's that?
And then I said, yes.
Come where?
Please come this week.
Come where? Where's the address?
Do you agree to come this week?
Come where? Where am I coming to?
Just stop.
Where am I coming to?
I'm on the East Coast. It's going to be easy.
Are you on Philly? Are you in Philly?
I'm on the East Coast. It's going to be easy.
Are you in Philly?
We don't need to get into that. All we need to know is will you come this week?
No. Where am I coming to? Where am I coming to? Just tell me where I'm coming to.
Everyone watching, I want you guys to observe what fear looks like. I want y'all to observe what pure fear looks like. Because listen, if I really want something, I don't need none of that. Listen, I don't care if your ass is in Antarctica, homie. I don't care. I'm about to go hop on the bird and show up where the Eskimos at. If you say that you would like to catch this fade and you're going to come to me, I said, please. I said, please come this week.
Yeah,
but I see guys like you all the time. All the time I see you guys and you never want the fade.
Tell me where.
You just don't want to look bad on live stream.
Tell me the reason.
You don't want to look bad in front of the millions of people watching. That's all it is.
I'll tell you the dojo we can meet at and we could.
Now you're talking about a dojo. You want to come out for the fade. And now all of a sudden you can't. You got a spa appointment. You can't come. You got a spa appointment, Keenan. If anything happened to you in New York, are you going to tell the police or are you just going to deal with it?
Yo, homie.
I'm just curious. Just like, if anything happened to you in New York, are you going to tell the police or are you just going to deal with it?
Hold on. You
I'm
want
just curious.
You want to come do something? You want to come do something, Marquett?
I'm just asking you. I'm just curious.
You want to come do something? If you want to come do something, me and you, I ain't got no problem. I ain't got no problem. If me and you want to do something,
just say something happened to you. Would you tell the police or would you just deal with it?
Listen.
Why won't you say no?
I want me and you to get on.
I'll tell you, if anything happened to me, I'm not talking to the people.
Nothing's going to happen to you.
I will never talk to the people.
I don't have that in my.
So now I'm asking you.
Heart for you.
So now I'm asking you. If something happened to you, Keenan, just answer my question. If something happened to you, would you tell the police?
Nothing's going to happen to me.
I'm just asking you, hypothetically. Hypothetically, if anything happened to you at all, would you tell the police or would you just deal with it?
Depend. What happens? Like what?
Oh shit. Okay.
No, for real.
We're done here.
Like are we talking as civilians? Are we talking
that was crazy. You're a rat. He's a rat. He's a rat. He's a rat. It's crazy.